So what was the impetus for shooting this Snake Eyes thing? I mean, I know the story, but we got to talk about that a little bit.
It came about because the attic in Snake Eyes is my actual attic. That's my house that I live in. I thought something was up in my attic, and very much like Jack in the story, I didn't have a ladder to get up there. I couldn't see what was up there, so I had the idea of, like Jack does in the movie, taking a digital camera, looking up there, taking pictures, and reconnoitering that way. And it occurred to me when I was doing that how crazy it would be if I stuck that into my computer and it came up and there was a monster in my attic. There was something looking back at me. Like, what would you do? And I was like, wow, that's a really great idea. It's an idea for a movie that I can do myself. And it only requires me and an attic in my location that I have. You know, so I was starting off with nothing, and that was a way to use nothing to make a story. It was a personal exercise for me to see if I could take a film down to its essential elements. No crazy camera movements, no explosions, no, this, that, other thing. Just pure film technique to build suspense. And that's what I did.
So, what was the most difficult solo shot for you to get when you were just working on your own on this?
So, first off, what you have to understand is that most of this movie, like 95%, was shot entirely by myself. No crew, nobody there. It was me alone in my house, and I would set up the tripod, put the camera on it, and then try to sort of, like, I had a monitor, and I would have to like look over my shoulder and adjust the lights. It was really crazy. It was almost, I can't even describe how difficult it was to set up. The most difficult one of those was the shot where I knock on the door and then I peek into the window. Because if you'll notice, that is one of those jib shots where it starts off on the door handle and then moves up to see me in the window. What I had to do for that one, since there was no one there to help me, is I would set up the shot, run outside, do the shot in the window, then run back inside and do the jib down to the door handle. Cut out the middle bit where I ran inside, flipped it around, and then reversed that shot, and it looks like someone was inside operating the jib, and it was just me.
Gotcha. Let's see.
It was very tricky. It was hell, and I got to be honest with you. I love the fact that I did it that way.
Dad. Dad. What couldn't you get done on the existing budget of nothing?
Right?
What could you not accomplish on a budget of zero that we need to go raise money for?
There's one thing that I couldn't do, and that was score the movie. uh, there's lots of resources available online to put music behind your movie, and music is really important for a film. I mean, you just when I was completing the very first shots for Snake Eyes, and the very first shots were the hallway shots where Jack has entered the house and he's walking down the hallway looking at the pictures that Jack's dad has on the wall. So those hallway scenes, when I got the first couple ones done, I maybe had like 3 or 4 shots done. There was like 10 seconds of film. It was nothing. But I went online and found a place called musicbed.com. And Musicbed has just a ton of great stock music not just stock sounds, but like stock music, stock orchestral scores, and of all kinds, like action scores, horror movie scores, anything that you need for your movie. And it's all really very reasonably priced. Very reasonably priced in this case, being I used 2 songs and they come up to $500, which is almost nothing. That's $499 more than I have right now, which is why we're going to Kickstarter.
Dad? And so before you began photography on Snake Eyes, how did you prepare? Did you type up a script, or make any artwork or any of that type of thing? What do you like to do in the preparation?
The number one thing preparation wise for me is storyboards. And you don't have to draw well. My storyboards for Snake Eyes are little more than stick figures. Um, because the only person who was ever going to see them, it was going to be me. And unfortunately, we're probably going to put this on a DVD so other people are going to see them and you're going to see how terrible they are. But the point being is, you don't get stressed out because you can't draw. You need to make storyboards, but don't get lost in the fact that you can't draw anything more than a stick figure. You just need to show where the people are going to go. Here's someone and they move over there, or here's going down the hallway. And those storyboards were invaluable. It puts the shots in your mind, and you realize what will and won't go together. Like you may have an idea in your head for how a particular scene is going to go. Like the inner movie that you're watching. But when you actually put it on a storyboard, you realize something's just not going to work.
What are the plans for getting Snake Eyes out to the world? Where do you want to take it?
Snake Eyes started out as, like I said earlier, it was just an exercise, really, just to see if I could do it, just to see if I could make a movie on my own with nothing, and to see if I could make suspense out of nothing. And it worked. It worked way better than I thought. I thought I was just practicing. I thought I was just, flexing my muscles and seeing what I could do. And it turned out good enough that I would like to send it to festivals. I would like to, I'd like to show it to the world.